you know, free bands and 21 Savage sold somebody a condo.
Use a nigga whole life, whole saying, and whole everything, and then don't even participate in a free nigga campaign.
If I would've met you, bro, I don't feel like you supposed to been in the street. Cause niggas don't know you really a smart ass, let it go ass nigga, call nigga phone, let it go ass nigga.
But a lot of niggas is them the most
really smart ass.
You know, if I pull up to the studio, messing, chilling with him, you asking me what to say on the song, how you should start off your song. Then there's girls in the room. Now you acting like you don't hear me saying, tell it.
Your fans want to hear Drip Too Hard. They want to hear these songs that are amazing hit songs that you happen to have with Gunna. You're skipping them because Gunna's a snitch?
Future could have just gone too far in his profession. He posted what appears to be a sneak peek at 21 Savage on Twitter. And to be honest, it did not go as planned. You are not merely making fun of a chart-topping musician when you aim for 21. You are entering a circle that was close-knit and well-respected long before huge labels and large expenditures appeared. This isn't. Fans of a certain studio created an internet frenzy. In Atlanta, 4 Liters carries a lot of weight, and the moniker alone causes other crews to pause and act wisely. Future may not be aware of how serious this issue is as he is lounging in a house and watching streaming stats come in. 21 Savage and those in his immediate vicinity have discussed being in actual trenches. Additionally, with leaked jail calls, the pressure has been building for a while, with rumors of phony friendships, album difficulties, and accumulated tension. When public contempt is added to social media, the result is an explosive mixture that has everyone talking. Timelines are heating up, the streets are humming, and word is getting around Atlanta quickly. People claim that 4 Liters is prepared to react, and their answers are typically neither formal declarations nor boisterous interviews. They have to do with movement and presence. Stay tuned because what happens next has the potential to drastically alter Atlanta's perspective on the entire matter. You must first comprehend the true nature of 4 Liters before delving into the reasons why many believe that the future has pushed things too far. This is more than simply the rap circle of 21 Savage. This long-standing street-connected gang has a reputation for dedication, devotion, and conducting business covertly in Atlanta for many years. 21 Savage is talking about more than just rap when he refers to himself as a realist. He is referring to street credibility that goes far beyond charts and music. The individuals in his immediate vicinity live by the code 4 Liters, which stands for 4 lives, on a daily basis. Atlanta's streets link them to events that never made headlines or became popular online. However, everyone outside the sector is well aware of this. Therefore, when 21 raps about his past, that is his actual background presented in clear language, it is neither fiction nor flexing. He's not creating narratives for streams, he's reciting a CV. His social group remains intimate, present, and well-respected. Future, on the other hand, has consistently filled the smooth role. Hands clean, image polished, calm movements, no loud drama, and hit recordings. As long as unwritten borders were maintained, that lane was effective. However, those boundaries were simply crossed. Future established his reputation as the untouchable, stylish person who was above street politics. However, the same distance that shielded him may now be becoming a vulnerability. According to reports, 21 Savage has been feeling betrayed for months. It hurt a lot that his record American Dream sold about 50,000 copies in its first week, which was his lowest start to date. At the same time, Future continues to be crowned Atlanta's biggest name, which 21 claims is artificial and forced. Day by day, that frustration continued to build up like tightly packed pressure. Then, that tweet appeared, and it calls, with Young Thug still incarcerated and the entire YSL scenario developing, everything is at its worst right now. Atlanta is already tense, and the temperature has now increased once more. Atlanta's power structure is already precarious, and now that 2 prominent figures are compelling citizens to covertly take sides, the city is in danger. This kind of tension is short-lived. When those leaked jail calls began to circulate, everything truly changed since that's when Young Thug apparently went all the way in on Future behind closed doors. Thug was allegedly ranting a lot about people he had once trusted during those private conversations with his partner, Mariah the Scientist. Thug mentioned on one call that Future would not perform for free in order to help him.
Not real. You fighting and you ain't real. You just a buster all the way around. Like, nigga, what's wrong with you? You'll use a nigga whole life, whole saying, and whole everything, and then and don't even participate in a free a nigga campaign. Around the time I got locked up, I know for sure you would have made sure you said in one of your songs, free bruh, just because it's just publicity for you. Crazy, burnt out. I ain't even trying to think about these niggas. These niggas have a nigga mad. You can believe that.
According to reports, Future assured people he didn't want to steal Thug's shine, but Thug obviously didn't believe that. He saw it as blatant avoidance and essentially accused Future of being a fraud for failing to provide support when it was crucial. Then it became even more uncomfortable. According to reports, Thug began pointing out how Future's energy would change based on who was present. Thug claims that Future would ask him for honest comments on tracks and listening closely and honoring his viewpoint. However, Thug stated that Future would appear aloof, as if he could no longer hear him as soon as women entered the studio, which he perceived as blatant fronting.
Him ain't been tight in a minute.
Yeah.
And it's because he do little lame jump, like call me to the studio. You know, if I pull up to the studio, chilling with him. You ask me what to say on the song and how you should start off your song. Then there's girls in the room. Now you acting like you don't hear me telling you this, because there's girls in here, like just like little fake nigga like that, like little stuff like that. I don't be liking that nigga. I'm a player. Like, what's wrong with you, fool? You trying to, I don't know what kind of image you trying to get off to these girls, but you an idiot, nigga. Like, everything you know a nigga teaching you, I done taught you. Like, cut it out.
When Thug allegedly began discussing Future's private life, things apparently became much worse. He accused him of making thoughtless choices with women and acting carelessly in relationships. Those remarks veered from business-related topics into private ones, and it is difficult to walk anything back once such boundaries are crossed. This breach accomplished more than revealed tension. It revealed years of pent-up animosity inside Atlanta's inner circle. Thug even mentioned a woman by the name of Arabian, asserting that she had significant problems in the past that were related to the Future. Additionally, he presented it as careless actions that caused emotional harm to actual individuals. He depicted a reckless Future filled with emotions and obligations. And that idea struck a chord because it asked Thug character-related questions in addition to music-related ones. This wasn't rumors. It was an outpouring of disappointment. Thug's reported statement that Future's entire operation was a front was the most devastating. He doubted the sincerity of those in his immediate vicinity and even attacked how Future behaves in private. According to reports, Thug made fun of him, saying he talks big but crumbles under pressure because he becomes distracted by ladies and makes poor decisions as a result. Coming from Thug, a respected guy in Atlanta, talk like that cuts deep. That is not constructive criticism. It is outright character destruction.
Udo is like, you pushing the P, bitches want to have your kids and shit too, but you still got to be like 100% locked in with the kids. You like 100% locked in with the bitches. That's the wrong.
And the emotion underlying those calls added to their weight. Thug's voice was filled with real grief rather than rage for influence or drama for attention. This sounded like someone who had been betrayed by someone he had completely trusted. This was no loud online energy or regular rap strain. From someone Thug had once thought of as family, it seemed like a true betrayal. Furthermore, the hurt caused by family switching is far more profound than any conflict with a complete stranger. 21 Savage had to make a decision when those calls were revealed. He may remain silent, act impartially, or intervene firmly. He immediately took young Thug's side. History is the cause. Thug and 21 have roots that go far beyond success in the music business. Future remained a far-off celebrity, but 21 and Thug emerged at roughly the same period, experienced comparable pressure, and established their reputations by being authentic before becoming well-known. 21 remained steadfast, while Thug was imprisoned on the RICO case, and loyalty is still very important now. He was putting money on the books, checking in, showing up, and maintaining Thug's name echoing through the music and in the streets. You can't buy, rent, or create that kind of loyalty with industry favors. 21. For a long time, Savage believed that his respect was never equal to the quality of his work. He has been working hard in Atlanta for years, gradually establishing his reputation. However, Future's name continues to come up when discussing city royalty, mentioned first each and every time. Therefore, it was different for 21 when Young Thug, who is generally considered to be true Atlanta royalty, began publicly criticizing Future. It confirmed what he had been secretly experiencing for a while. 21 knows that loyalty always triumphs over corporate relationships and industry politics, and he has a deeper understanding of the streets than others. Thug stood tall in 21's eyes when it really mattered, despite Future's larger catalog and more popularity. And that's the ultimate score in the universe of 21. respect always triumphs over numbers. The cornerstone of 21 Savage has always been authenticity. He established his reputation by being dependable and authentic and refusing to change, even when it cost him opportunities or negotiations. Thus, it must have been difficult for him to watch Future ascend to the throne as rumors of dishonest behavior behind closed doors circulated. Future's team and the 21 Savage circle are at odds over more than just music, rivalry, or bruised egos. There were unresolved issues with money, trust, and miscommunications between the two parties, according to those close to Atlanta's scene. Not a business, drama, real-life arguments with weight and repercussions, not rap lyrics. And such circumstances do not go away peacefully if they remain unsolved. They create, they sit, and ultimately, they return. This is the point at which the plot truly begins to take shape, and why so many viewers were taken aback by what transpired next from the jump outside. This is where things are said to have gotten really messy very quickly. People with knowledge of the matter claim that someone associated with Future's free bands camp purchased a condo from someone related to 21 Savage's circle. On the surface, it appeared to be a straightforward transaction between individuals who had met through shared ties in music. The paperwork was completed, and the keys were given. Everything appeared to be official. This is the portion, though, that made the streets talk a lot. After the purchase concluded, the seller allegedly retained a garage opener and an extra key. Those who were attentively observing did not consider that to be an error. Rumor has it that this was a premeditated maneuver. Therefore, when the buyer allegedly departed town, feeling at ease in his new location, the place was reportedly hit hard. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry, piles of money, and several empty safes. The kind of loss that is far more painful than pride. This wasn't a quick swipe. This was thought to be a significant hit that might have reached six figures. What caused it? What is purportedly shown on the security camera is worse. The individuals engaged had instantly identifiable faces rather than being strangers or masked outsiders. Everything was altered by that. This wasn't a coincidence. From the beginning, this was perceived as a setup. In street culture, circumstances such as these have certain expectations. It is understood that leadership intervenes to rectify the situation. Either compensation is made or the offending party is subject to internal repercussions. And stress does not subside when that does not occur quickly. It multiplies. This circumstance wasn't merely stressful. Connections. Trust was completely shattered. And once that degree of confidence is violated, the consequences seldom remain silent for very long. However, a number of individuals with knowledge of the matter claim that 21 Savage never adequately handled the reported events.
Free bands and 21 Savage sold somebody a condo, and when they bought the condo, they didn't know the nigga kept the keys and the door opener and all that shit to get in. So when the other nigga went out of town, the nigga that sold the condo to him went back in there and took.
And that stillness, which had nothing to do with songs, charts, or interviews, caused a great deal of friction between the camps. Although it appeared to be rap drama from the outside, it felt more intimate on the streets. According to reports, Future side members felt abused twice. First by the purported arrangement itself, and then by what they perceived as an inability to deal with it appropriately afterward. Not reacting is not neutral in street reasoning. It comes across as weakness or, worse, subdued approbation. Respect quickly erodes as that kind of perception becomes ingrained. Because of this, the tension is much deeper than internet sneak peeks or damaged egos. Real money was at stake, real trust was betrayed, and real contempt went unpunished. Additionally, things quickly become chaotic and lose control when street business and the music industry collide. The public was exposed to this pressure during 21 Savage's interview with Big Bank. The atmosphere instantly changed as Bank persisted in asking him who Atlanta's true GOAT was. 21 looked awkward, avoiding the question, changing the subject, and attempting to maintain composure. He refrained from mentioning Future whenever the topic of Atlanta's hierarchy came up. He offered evasive responses, sidesteps, and anything but that acceptance. He was clearly holding a lot of emotions inside, but he wasn't ready to let them all out on TV just yet. However, the Bank did not relax. He persisted till 21 finally lost it and responded bluntly. 21 declared, "I'm going to say me," when asked to choose a decision. No diss track could compare to the impact of that moment.
Like, but shit, you gotta do what you gotta do though, man. You chose this lane.
Yes.
That's what I tell you.
Fact.
I might be like, I feel
it wasn't conceit. It conveyed a message. and it quickly became popular in Atlanta. Future did what he has always done best, rather than plunging right into pandemonium. He allowed his achievements to talk first. He claimed to be the biggest in this on social media, a subtle but pointed reminder that he is still the one with the reach, the plaques, and the figures, regardless of who says they are the realest.
If I'd have met you, bro, I don't feel like you supposed to been in the street. Cause you niggas don't know you really a smart ass, let it go ass nigga, call nigga phone, let it go ass nigga.
But a lot of niggas is them the
You
most
really a
dangerous.
smart ass.
But yeah, goddamn, I don't know I think what made me jump in the street was just my circumstances. I feel like I was forced in the street because I couldn't do nothing else. I ain't got no green card. I can't get no job. So how the hell else was I gonna survive? You feel what I'm saying? This is how I really feel. I feel like Atlanta is really goddamn, what's the word? Atlanta really a pedophile. Cause Atlanta really groomed us, bro, since we was kids.
The fuck?
No, just listen to.
However, those leaked jail calls undoubtedly touched a nerve. It hurts deeply to hear someone you once considered family call you a fake on a recorded line, especially when it comes from someone you initially supported, while they were still getting their bearings. Future's entire legacy was based on maintaining composure, avoiding commotion on the streets, and washing his hands. While others burnt, he was able to survive in the game for more than 10 years because of his strategy, bridges, or vanished entirely. He has always acted strategically rather than emotionally. However, it feels different right now. This went beyond label politics and music rivalry. This struck at personal history, loyalty, and respect. This post largest was not chosen at random. Future reminded everyone that although others talk about authenticity, he is the one who sells tours, stacks platinum awards, and shapes the sound. It wasn't a loud flex, but rather a controlled one. However, everyone understood exactly who it was directed at because of everything that was simmering underneath the surface. What is particularly noteworthy is that Future could have taken it a step further. He could have replied directly to the disrespect or confronted the leaking calls head on. Rather, he maintained his composure, at least temporarily. And in circumstances such as these, when a person with a reputation for self-control begins to feel under pressure, everyone keeps a careful eye on the following move. Future's silence was either a calculated chess move or an indication that he misjudged the gravity of the situation. In terms of street culture, respect is not always earned by taking the high road. It can occasionally be interpreted as hesitancy. Additionally, in a circle like 4 leaders, where deeds speak louder than words, a composed reaction would not be sufficient to prevent things from increasing. 21 Savage was obviously frustrated after American Dream premiered with about 50,000 first-week sales. He went on a social media rampage that seemed to release everything he had been suppressing. Many saw his posts about being a realist as a direct reaction to Future's major message. However, he didn't end there. 21 began broadcasting behind the scenes, industry conversations that the majority of artists would never interact in public. He publicly said that quality control was incorrect in some circumstances before making an even more significant claim. He asserted that Lil Baby and he were both aware of Young Thug's inconsistent behavior regarding accusations of snitching were addressed. Many were shocked by that because 21 was essentially acknowledging that, despite their public support for Thug, they had private concerns about the way street regulations were being enforced. He claims that the standard changed based not on principle but on the individual involved. And saying that aloud is risky. This was explosive because it shattered Atlanta's inner circle's sense of solidarity. It implied that while blind allegiance was unreal, loyalty itself was. And 21 also disclosed that he attempted to act as a peacemaker in several circumstances. He claimed that he tried to put Quo and Offset on a group call to resolve their differences, but it went nowhere. That demonstrated that he wasn't merely creating drama. Behind the scenes, he had been attempting to handle things. It was obvious that 21 was finished holding back at this point. He was speaking with honesty, frustration, and pent-up anxiety. Furthermore, once someone publicly reaches that point, time cannot be turned back. 21. Savage presented himself as the true mediator, the one attempting to help keep Atlanta united when politics and egos threatened to destroy it. He wanted to demonstrate that he wasn't just another rapper seeking influence. He was someone who watched, assessed, and described things as he saw them. The most explosive portion was when he mentioned Gunna and Young Thug. According to 21, Thug was aware from the beginning that Gunna wasn't truly street connected. but the crew chose to remain silent since it was practical. As stated by 21, Gunana was accused of snitching, but these accusations were ignored, all because Gunna was profitable for the group.
Your fans want to hear Drip Too Hard. They want to hear these songs that are amazing hit songs that you happen to have with Gunna. You're skipping them because Gunna's a snitch or a rat? I thought Young Thug's father said that. Technically, he's not, right? There's some YSL niggas now saying that, he's not. But Lil Baby's trying to stand on business and be like, that. We're skipping the song. We're not even playing the song at the concert no more. I feel like something happened recently. Something behind the scenes. This confirms something happened behind the scenes.
21 didn't end there. Additionally, he criticized other artists in Atlanta for being phony and choosing sides out of convenience rather than loyalty. He was making a very clear statement. In a scene full of phony alliances and artificial smiles, he continues to be the real voice while others play politics. This, 21's outburst on Twitter exposed how much resentment he had been suppressing. It's obvious that he's tired of the Atlanta hierarchy, the disregard for loyalty, and the fakery he witnesses everywhere. And the failure of the American dream provided him with the ideal justification to let it all out at last. Let's be honest. The album's poor performance was a contributing factor in this catastrophe. 21 had been suppressing his feelings for some time, but when the timing coincided with his commercial setback, everything came to light online in a way that was impossible to ignore. Selling just 50,000 inches the first week for a 21-year-old artist. In addition to being upsetting, Savage level is embarrassing and might possibly jeopardize the advancement of his profession. To regain attention, start conversations, and increase traffic to his name, he needed a move. And there's no better way than to get into a furious argument with Future, one of Atlanta's biggest performers. While revealing business secrets that fans and blogs devour, controversy sells, and 21 understands just how to exploit it. He establishes himself as the genuine voice that people listen to by presenting himself as the one who is prepared to speak the truth while everyone else remains silent. He's attempting to restore his reputation as Atlanta's realist. But this is a high-risk activity. It can backfire to burn bridges with influential people in the industry. And sometimes the only way to get attention again is to take enormous chances when your album fails and your relevance declines. When street crews and real money are involved, the risk increases since risks can swiftly become lethal. 21's brand is authenticity. Being a street rapper that doesn't back down and tells it how it is the foundation of his career. Therefore, it makes sense for his reputation to double down on authenticity when his music isn't doing well commercially, even if that means disclosing secrets or criticizing colleagues. Legitimacy. Here's why this is far riskier than your typical rap feud. 4 Leaders is more than just a group of rappers. They are respected and well-established street vendors. These guys aren't just tough rappers. They have established reputations that demand recognition after years of hard effort in Atlanta. They operate independently, according to a tight code, and have been linked to several street situations over the years. 21. Savage is more than just hanging out with pals. He has the support of a real organization, which totally alters the stakes. 21 Savage uses the term sliding to describe more than just making disparaging remarks or releasing diss records. When you combine that street credibility with a wounded ego, subpar album sales, and years of pent-up resentment, you're looking at a formula for major dispute. Given what he perceives to be Future's false persona, 21 feels humiliated by Future's success. Future, in the meantime, believes that someone he assisted in moving up the game's ranks has betrayed him. While incarcerated, Young Thug likely feels that he initiated an uncontrollable situation. The jail calls that were revealed became combustible. These were private discussions that were never intended to be made public. People are now compelled to take sides. Furthermore, taking sides is more than just tweeting an Atlanta scene. It has weight and repercussions. Because real money and actual victims are now involved, the condo robbery creates an additional level of risk. Things may quickly get out of control when street business and the music industry collide. Future could be a prime target because 4 Leaders is known for responding to disrespect with deeds rather than words. What? The fact that both sides have substantial resources is what makes this situation so unstable. Future has resources, influence, and connections in the industry. On the other hand, 21 Savage has a devoted crew that is prepared to step up in street credibility. When individuals with that level of authority clash, more than just egos are at stake. It is possible for innocent people to be caught in the crossfire. It has happened before in Atlanta's music industry, and everyone is aware of how quickly things can go unpleasant. Rap beef rarely stays in the studio or on social media when street crews are involved. People can suffer injuries, and careers can collapse. And in the worst situations, lives may be in jeopardy. All the elements are currently in place for this conflict to evolve beyond Twitter jabs to actual repercussions. There's more to this than just three rappers fighting. It has to do with influence, authority, and respect in Atlanta. The question of who truly determines authenticity in the culture is raised by this battle, which also exposes the shifting hierarchy in Atlanta hip-hop. Future was seen as the unchallenged monarch for many years. He was respected, influential, and had hits. However, 21 Savage is now questioning what it means to be real and threatening that crown. Even the incarcerated Young Thug continues to dominate the scene. A younger generation of artists is keeping a careful eye on things and choosing which artists to emulate. A few emerged under Future's tutelage and must now balance allegiance with the potential that 21 Savage's message about authenticity may carry greater weight. At the same time, street crews with ties to both sides must decide whose side they support, and their choices have dire repercussions. What causes the fact that both sides have significant street ties makes the entire situation much riskier. Rappers who live in gated communities are not the only ones engaging in this kind of internet conversation. These are individuals who have actual resources and are prepared to make use of them. Additionally, the conflict highlights the ongoing conflict between commercial success and street credibility, demonstrating that respect in Atlanta is earned in the streets as well as on the charts. Hip-hop has always had this tension. Future stands for the game's commercial aspect, hits, broad appeal, and crossover success that generates revenue and is acknowledged. Conversely, 21 Savage stands for the street side, authenticity, real-life experience, and unwavering mindset. The hip-hop scene in Atlanta is being forced to make a decision because of this feud. Which is more important to you, authenticity or success? That's a difficult choice in a culture that values being authentic above all else. From a distance, the leaked jail calls may have served as the catalyst, but the conflict's underlying cause is more complex. It has to do with honesty, loyalty, and respect. Young Thug's remarks on Future revealed years of phony friendships and repressed animosity that had been subtly developing beneath the surface. 21. Savage's choice to support Thug over Future demonstrates his dedication, even if it means opposing a more well-known and lucrative musician. Depending on the situation, the loyalty could be viewed as hazardous intransigence or as admirable. Somebody is observing. This isn't only about music. As the condo robbery incident demonstrates, there is actual street commerce going on. Unsolved problems that exacerbate the situation. And 21's outburst on Twitter following the failure of his album demonstrates how desperation can force someone to take chances they otherwise wouldn't. For years, Future's easygoing demeanor has helped him stay out of trouble and concentrate on his music. However, being silent in this circumstance can be interpreted as weakness. Additionally, perspective in Atlanta's hip-hop scene is everything. One thing is amply demonstrated by this beef. Respect isn't necessarily correlated with success, and sometimes the best course of action is to expose the false, even if it means jeopardizing all you've worked so hard to achieve. Now, the most important question is whether this feud will continue to exist online and in music, or does it lead to something far more hazardous? Everyone in Atlanta is keeping an eye on things, the streets are chatting, and everyone is waiting to see who is sincere about their claims. This is not a game that anyone should want to play in a place where being honest can literally mean the difference between life and death. Have fun. The frightening thing is that once this kind of stake starts to burn, it's nearly impossible to stop it. What began with hurt sentiments and phone conversations that were exposed might swiftly turn into actual repercussions for actual individuals. Additionally, in Atlanta, where the distinction between reality and entertainment frequently, that's a scary idea, Blurs. This is where you can help. Do you believe that 21 Savage is correct, that Future is a fraud, or is he merely attempting to recover from the failure of that album? More significantly, does this remain on social media, or might it spread to something much more serious? Your opinions matter, so please share them in the comments. Additionally, don't put this off. Click the subscribe button, enable notifications, and become a member of the Rap Thread community. We're just getting started, and the streets never stop. There are still plenty more tales to discover. Every day we drop heat, and tomorrow's upload will be even more insane, deeper, and unmissable. Click like, send this video to all of your homeboys, and leave a comment with your thoughts. We'll see you in the upcoming One here at Rap Thread, where the reality of the streets resides.